Hello everyone, welcome to the shed. I am Lonnie.
Hey, I'm Candace, welcome.
Candace and I are eBay sellers, we are Poshmark sellers, we are Etsy sellers. Mercari. We've been doing this for a while. And over the years, we have discovered or started implementing 10 different things that make selling on eBay both better and easier, and we thought we would share those 10 things with you guys today.
Yep.
You ready to get started?
Let's get started.
Okay, number one, stretch wrap.
Yes, so this is something that we just started using this past year, and I don't know why we didn't use it sooner because, man, I love it. So this is what we're talking about. It's just stretch wrap on a roll. It comes in different sizes. I find that this is a good size for us. One thing that I love to use it for is bundling up items that I don't want clinking around together or just getting loose. So you can see here I have some spoons and I just wrapped it around so they're nice and tight. And then when I put them up for storage, they're not clanking against each other. And when they go to ship, they won't be clanking against each other.
Candace actually took, last week, she took a entire, like a 90-piece set of silverware.
Yes. And
you had like, I don't know, like maybe 6 to 10 or 12.
Bundled them all up like that.
Bundled them all up like that, and then took those and bundled them all up.
Yeah, and made one little package.
It made one mass that was not, first of all, it wasn't clanking around and making noise, and more importantly, they weren't damaging. Sometimes you have to save your inventory from itself.
Right.
It wasn't damaging itself. So, yeah, this thing, we use it a lot. Golf clubs, like you're shipping a bunch of irons, and then now they're not clanking.
Yep.
All kind of uses for that. That's a great thing to have. Okay, as resellers, if you do the kind of reselling we do anyways, a lot of times you're buying your stuff from garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, etc. A lot of times these items have price tags. In the case of thrift stores, the price tags may have been on there a long time.
They may have, yep. Or some of them just, there's one estate sale we go to, and their price tags are really hard to get off. So the next tool we're going to show y'all that we find handy is a heat gun. These are fairly cheap. You can buy them off Amazon at craft stores.
Well, or heck, if you have a blow dryer, you can use that. Blow dryer will do the same thing.
So what you want to do is just, you don't want to like hold the heat on there. You want to kind of move it around, and don't leave it on there too long, especially with paper. It can burn it.
It depends on the material. That's what we're going to show y'all now.
Right, and then this is called a Scotty peeler. They're great for like getting up under there and picking up the edge and getting it off. So I'm going to show you how it works. And you can see it just came right up. Now, what you don't want to use it on is anything plastic, like this video game case that we're going to show you. Sorry, Shaq. Here we go. And you can see right away the plastic is starting to like shrink up and get disfigured. Yep, so of course that's going to come right up. It still
came off, but now look what you're left with. You always have to be careful with any kind of heat or chemicals or anything that you're not, when you're cleaning your product, you're not actually going to damage and make it worthless.
Right.
Okay, now this one might seem kind of silly, but whenever we either buy inventory or even if it's sat on the shelves for a long time, dust can accumulate. And for years, I would just take like a paper towel and some Windex and kind of wipe it down. But what you can actually do when you're doing that is you can make it worse, because you can form like mud almost out of the dust and the liquid and cause it to go into cracks and stuff like that.
Right.
So for the past, like, I'd say year or so, we've been doing this.
These are just standard cosmetic brushes. You can get them at Walmart, drugstores, anywhere. And we like them because we have different sizes. So if we want to get like into somewhere tight like that, we can. Or if you just have a big area.
Look at this big area here. Look how dusty. Look at that.
Yep. Just dust it right off. And the bristles are really soft, so it's not going to damage your item.
Yep, and you get to feel like an archaeologist when you're doing it too. So as simple as it might seem, these brushes have made a big difference.
And it's fast. It's also faster than like wetting down a paper towel and wiping.
Yes.
This is a lot faster.
Okay, next up, one of the things that I simply, well, I could live without, but I don't want to. We have two different type of box resizers, and the whole idea about resizing a box is to make the package more affordable for shipping, because shipping is based on size and weight, and also to help protect the item, because a lot of times, like let's say if I was shipping this item in this box and I close that box up just like that, if I don't void fill or make the box smaller or something, that item is going to get battered all the way to its destination. All right, first we're going to show y'all this kind of box resizer, the little handheld fast one. And we're going to resize our box for this item. So I want to get it about right here. And this is an eyeball kind of thing. Sometimes they can end up a little wonky, but I'll show y'all another kind of box resizer if that's not for you. It can be way more precise. You see, just like that, we have now made this box fit our item, and it doesn't move. I would probably still use a little paper, but then we're able to go ahead and tape this box up, and it is way smaller. So that's box resizer 1. And box resizer 2. This one has a guide on it, and you can just loosen this, slide it up and down for whatever depth you need. Let's just say arbitrarily we want it right here, and this is when we want a nice straight cut. Now this works just like this, super fast, and now you're able to get, so I got to cut up the sides, now you're able to get a perfect, usually, doesn't that look perfect now? So 2 different box resizers, can't live without either one of them. Okay, next thing up, these tape dispensers right here. We have 2 of these desktop tape dispensers. For years I used this style, and there is a place for that style of tape dispenser, especially for larger boxes. And they even make, you know, like the 3-inch, we have 3-inch tape and 2-inch tape here. They do make 3-inch handheld tape dispensers. However, most of the boxes I'm sealing, I'm the packer by the way, most of the boxes I'm sealing are usually smaller boxes, and I find the handheld ones are unwieldy, cumbersome, and awkward, and I find these are just way better. Another thing to mention about tape is 3-inch tape. If you've never tried 3-inch tape, then give it a shot. It changed the way I pack once I started using it. I had other sellers tell me for years, once you try 3-inch tape, you will never go back. And they were right. And now I'm telling you this. Once you've tried 3-inch tape, there's a really good chance you'll never go back. Look at the width difference here. I do have a link to both of these tapes down below if you want to try them out. But any brand of 3-inch tape is superior to pretty much any brand of 2-inch tape, in my opinion. And try these desktop dispensers too. They're nice. Okay, next up is, we're going to talk about bubble wrap. We buy all of our bubble wrap at America Bubble Boy, but we're not talking about bubble wrap right now. We're talking about how awkward it is. Bubble wrap is big. It's always in the way. It's always coming unrolled and becoming a mess. For years, I just kind of threw it wherever. Yep. And finally, we put this in. This is a piece of chain from Home Depot and a short, like a 2-foot piece of cheap PVC and a couple of hooks. And these hooks do detach up top. You just slide it right off. And it's so much better. Let me show y'all. And you can see now that we have the bubble wrap mounted up there, it's out of the way, it's ready to use, it's not going to be a mess. And look how easy. Boom.
Next item on our list is how we store our small items. We're talking like little pin backs, coins, maybe Barbie shoes, really small things like that. So one of the things we've implemented is this right here. It's called a jewelry organizer. It hangs if you have somewhere to hang. If you have a coat rack or something like that, or a shelving, we hang ours on the end. And what I did was I just took a number at each pocket. In our SKU system, we just call this pocket 41, pocket 42, and so on. So that's one thing that we use for our smalls. The other thing we use are these little craft / tackle boxes, anything like that. And I just took, and this is our Walmart pins, and this is pin number 1 through 55. And I just put them in here, and I put them in little baggies, and each bag has its little number so that it's easy to find. And they're pretty much loosely in here in numerical order. And that brings us to our next thing, bags that we use to store things. And a couple of reasons that we use these types of bags is, like we said earlier, we don't want things just loose, like multiple things in one item, or to protect the integrity, like the paint on an action figure or something like that. So these are some of the bags that I keep in stock, like the ones you saw the Walmart pins in, or these little clear bags. And then like these spoons that we had these in to keep this set together, because it is sold as a set. I have it in one of these. These larger ones are great for your bigger action figures, maybe clothing like t-shirts and stuff like that. And all of these bags I'm showing you can get on Amazon. That's usually where I buy them. I don't use any particular vendor, just whatever I can find, the size I want, whatever's cheapest at the time. So another thing we also use is trash bags.
I use these a lot when I'm packing.
Right. We prefer the clear ones because it doesn't really look like trash bags, but it protects the item. So one way that we do use it is, let me pull one out. Whenever something's getting packed, like clothing or hats, that if water were to get into the box, that you don't want it to damage the fabric.
Yeah, I don't like, when I'm packing something with fabric like a hat, doesn't need a ton of protection, but I don't like packing the fabric directly against the cardboard. So these are perfect. And these kind of bags, these only cost like 3 or 4 cents a piece when you buy them in boxes of 250. So look at that. And it also provides some amount of void fill to keep the hat from moving around in the box.
Right.
Really good option.
Now this particular brand is 10-gallon that we get from Home Depot, but you can find them pretty much anywhere. Now these are bigger ones. I'm not going to unfold it, but it's the same premise, but it's a little bit thicker, and it's 32-gallon. They're for your really big items. Get those off of Amazon in bulk.
I've even packed, like, I've used those for things as big as like a piece of luggage. Yes. That's getting shipped.
Sometimes you may have to go over the top and pull another one down below and tape it together, or sometimes it's not too tall that it'll fit around the whole item. The next thing that we've been using a lot lately is poster boards. So we use those for our photography, and I'm going to show you why. So we have our light box here, and we have a white background that is good for most things, but sometimes you just want a different color background or just something that pops and stands out. So I'm going to show you what we do for that. You can see in here we just took a simple poster board of like a galaxy background and just put a little piece of tape. This is like a vinyl, so it won't hurt the back of it. And yeah, this is great for action figures and small stuff. Now, if you don't have a photo box, there's another way you can utilize poster board. A lot of time for bigger items, we'll use like a trifold like this. And then we'll put a black one down here, so that gives you like a seamless black background for your photos. Yeah,
and you can switch out. We have several different things we keep up. We keep white. Look, we have this wood looking thing up here.
Then we just have solid colors too.
Yeah. Yep. And then every 6 months or so, Candace will run to the store and we'll get a fresh new change of scenery there.
Yeah, they're a really cheap way to change up your photos. They run anywhere from 99 cents to $2 or $3 for the poster board. Okay, while we're on the subject of photography, we wanted to show you some of the photography props that we use. They're generally really inexpensive. Some of them we've even picked up at garage sales. So one must-have we have for hats are these styrofoam heads. We have a guy and a girl. They're just a few dollars on Amazon. So whenever they get worn out, it's really cheap to replace. Definitely need those for hat photography. The other thing we have is this half body mannequin that we actually hang. We have a white background that we hang it on. And I went with like a small medium size because I figured that would be good for men and women's clothing. And it generally works out. Even for the larger men's clothing, until you get up to maybe like 3X, 4X, then it just kind of hangs. But for most of our stuff, this has been great.
That is perfect for someone that sells some clothes, but they're not like clothing sellers.
Right, and it's up out of the way when we don't use it.
Right.
The next thing I have is this little shoe. It's called a shoe stand, and it's made to where the heel of the shoe can hook on here and it sits on there. But we also use it for tennis shoes when I'm taking pictures. I'll put like one for the main photo. I'll have one there and then maybe the other one sitting in front of it just to give two different angles on our main photo. Another thing I like to use it for is for photographing like lightweight cookbooks and stuff like that. I just kind of take this and tilt it forward, and then I just use it to prop up my book there, so I can get a straight on image of it standing straight up. Another thing we have is this turntable. It came with different color little things you can change out up here. And it's battery operated. It does spin, so that's good if you want to do a photo of, a video of smaller things to show all angles. That's really cool in your listings. But sometimes I just use it to, when I'm in the photo box, I'll put something small on there. And then with the white background, whenever we kind of zoom in, it just kind of seamlessly looks like it's on a white background. And it gets it up high enough for you to get like a good straight on shot. And then these other things are just various things. These are doll stands. I've picked up these things at garage sales. So just keep an eye out for stuff. We've got two different size doll stands here. This is actually made to hold cookbooks, but it's good for like big platters, or if you want to hold a big cookbook open. I've got a couple of different ornament stands here, two different sizes. And then this is for a book also, but I use it for, you can use it
Plates.
Plates or like stiff photos, like photo stock stuff.
We're constantly looking for more things too. We don't have all the props we need.
No. So sometimes we just get creative with what we have. Like, say you want to take a photo of like a little a sports card. We'll just throw a battery there and just prop it up, stand it on there, kind of like we did with this, just on a smaller scale.
Or sometimes I'll use a coffee cup or anything.
Yep.
But we're constantly on the lookout for more props for our photo cube. Well, those are 10 things that we use to make eBay better and easier for us, that we find indispensable now. I hope you got at least one thing out of this video, and I would also ask you to share one thing down below. If you have an item or a tool or something like that that you use for your resale business.
Yeah, what's a secret hack you have that you think the world needs to know about to make their reselling business easier?
Yeah, if you don't mind sharing it. So again, thanks a bunch for watching, and we will see y'all again very soon. Bye, y'all.
Bye.